So now with part 6, we're going to use the Shape Builder tool to complete complex shapes from geometric primitives. So just a way for us to combine these shapes together to create something a little bit more complex from our basic shapes. So what we want to do is combine our circle and our rounded rectangle. To do that, we need to make sure that we're on the original layer. So if you're on your Properties panel, go to Layers, go down to your original, click that. Go ahead and make sure it's unlocked, so you shouldn't see a little lock on there. Now we can edit that layer. So what we want to do is take our circle, and I'm just going to move it over a little bit more, and then we're going to take our rounded rectangle. I'm going to put it here, and so if I left click out of here, you'll see that it looks like that I have one shape here because there's no fill. I have our two shapes layered over each other. They're the same color, so it looks like one, but in reality I have two objects here that I can move around. I want to combine them, so to do that I can go left click and drag, make sure they're selected, and then I go to our shape building tool over here. You might still be on your live paint bucket. If you are, you need to go up to your shape building tool, or you can press Shift M for your shortcut. I'm just going to left click and I'm going to drag down, and I see a little add button on by our arrow. Once I've got that everything I wanted to add, I'm going to release the click, and now it's created one shape. It's removed all the lines that were crossed over each other from the two different objects, and it just creates one object. So that's an easy way. Now if I were to take this object, go to my properties, I can create a stroke and set it for 2 points, and we can outline it without having to worry about an outline coming through here within the shape from our two combined objects. So I'm going to go back to my shape, and we're going to get rid of our stroke. So the next thing you want to do is create the skull. You want to put in your eyes and nose. So you can just bring them over, and we can set this here. And I'm not worried about it being exact, but when you set up your own little drawing, you want to make sure things are set up right, you can go ahead and use your guides and snap to grid to help with that layout. So let's just put this here. So we have that set up. Now we want to create bones. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to combine the circles with our long rectangle here. So I'm going to left click. I'm going to actually zoom in so we can see this a little better. I'm going to left click and drag, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on the anchor, so where it intersects. And I'm going to do that to both of them. Now we can use different size circles, different widths for the bones, and you can also draw a closed shape. Use your pencil tool and draw a closed shape with some curves and some regularities. This is just a simple way of using the shape tools, the rectangle tool and the circle tool, to create this. So now I have my bone here, the two circles on each side. I want to select them all, so I'm going to left click, drag, and now they're all selected. I'm going to go to my shape builder tool. I'm going to go inside this top left circle, left click, and I'm going to hold down, and I want to make sure that I get them all. I have quite a few areas where they overlap, but it looks like I got it all. I'm going to release my left click, and now I have one shape. So if I did it correctly, I should be able to go to stroke, turn on black, and we'll see just the stroke around the bone. So I kind of want to add some contrast to the skull, to the background here. So I'm going to go ahead and change my stroke back to black. And now that I have this, I'm going to copy it, Command C, and then I'm going to paste it, Command V. I have my two bones. just like before, and are modifying and adjusting our shapes, I can rotate this, make sure we're not on the path or on the anchor. We need to be hovering over it just a little bit to get our little arrow here. Then I can rotate that shape to create a slight angle, and then we can click and drag. I'm going to set it up. It's at the intersect. I think it's a good spot for it. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this one. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to drag, set this up here. And now I have my skull and crossbones.